Right. Hi, everyone. Happy Earth Day. My name is Urooj Naveed, and I am an AS senator. Today, we're hosting an interactive Earth Day workshop for us to learn more about eco-friendliness, the habits of sustainability, as well as just that mindset that can help us get started, be hopeful, energized to work towards, making our Earth a little bit better day by day. So today we actually have a guest speaker to guide us through all of this. Her name is Samantha Wong. She's my great friend from high school. She's currently at UC Irvine, and I'll give her the chance to introduce herself. So let me spotlight her. And Samantha, if you would just want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thanks, Urooj. Hi, my name is Samantha. I go by pronouns she, her, hers, and yes, I am a second year at UCI, currently studying biological sciences. I like to say that I'm very enthusiastic when talking about sustainability and mental health and skincare. And so, yeah, I am very thankful that I'm here. Thank you for having me, Urooj and Madison. And thank you all for being here with me.
Would you like me to start screen sharing, Samantha?
Yes, please.
Perfect. Alrighty.
All right, awesome. Yeah, we already said it, but happy Earth Day. I hope everybody's having a good day. And just to start off, again, I want to thank everybody for being here. And I want everybody to know that this is an open and judgmental free space and for everybody to relax. And I'm here as a resource to get you started on your journey towards being more eco-friendly. And so that is the goal of at the end of my presentation, that we can all start to think more about how we can be more thoughtful of the things that we can do, especially during quarantine in the house, to be more sustainable.
Would you like me to go to the
Okay.
next one?
Yes, please. So we're actually going to start with a short poll just to get some conversation going. The question is, what are some of the things that pop into your head when you think about sustainability and eco-consciousness? So I'm actually going to open a poll right now and screen share. Can you see this okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So all you have to do is either on your phone or on your computer that you're on, go to the website, and then you will be able to answer the question anonymously, and we'll be able to share the responses with everybody collectively. So I'm gonna oh, these are great. Turning off lights. Whoa, it looks like the the boxes are getting bigger. Turtles, yes, turtles. Definitely. The 3 R's. These are so great. These are beautiful. I'm so happy. Life. All right. So it looks like, yes, we got a lot of responses here. Oh, I'm so in love with this. Yes. Okay. Thank you for participating. So yes, again, just to get started, either Urooj or Madison, would you like to speak up on the things that you think about when you hear sustainability and eco-consciousness?
Yeah, absolutely. I can go first unless Urooj wants to. Um, okay, so yeah, so I put of course recycling. That was kind of the first thing that popped into my head. I know that's something that my family tries to do pretty regularly. So that was my immediate response. But I also thought of like nature and trees and really trying to like pick up trash, turn off our lights, stuff like that. I think there's a lot of little actions that I do my best to take throughout the day. So those were kind of what I put down for that question.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah, I think the first thing, for whatever reason, that pops to my mind whenever I think of sustainability or eco-friendliness is turtles, because I really started paying attention to this when the whole plastic straw thing became a huge issue and how it's bad for turtles. And I was like, no, not the turtles. Like, come on. So I think that just stuck with my head, even from the point where I didn't really know much about this. And I wasn't really that aware, but turtles just stuck. So now every time, a lot of stuff that I do, maybe it is for me, but a lot of times it is for the turtles. So, that's probably the first thing that comes to my head. And then another few things, the 3 R's really come into my head a lot. Just plastic,
Yes.
get rid of as much plastic as possible. That comes into my head. But also just the fact that it's our responsibility, not really a thing that we can choose or opt in and opt out as we wish. It's kind of something we kind of all have to do, and it doesn't have to be boring. I mean, it's pretty fun for me. So
Yes, you're definitely right. I was just gonna say the same exact thing. It's like, actually, can we go back to the slides?
of course, yeah. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Do you want me to go forward?
Yes, please. Yeah, so I was thinking the same exact thing, when I think about sustainability and eco-consciousness. Back when I lived in the dorms my first year at UCI, a lot of the time when I went out with friends, the first thing people would ask is, "Do you want to get boba? Do you wanna go get something to drink?" And the first thing I think instinctually is that, the fact that it's packaged and bought in a plastic cup and a plastic straw, and it only takes like a few minutes to drink the boba, right? It only lasts you for like 5 to 10 minutes, at most an hour. But once you're done with it and you throw it away, where does this trash go? And we know that like a lot of the plastics that end up in our oceans are not biodegradable, and they last a lot longer than the amount of time it takes for us to consume our drinks. And so, the same applies when we're buying other things with plastics and ordering takeout and such. American consumerism is not very supportive of sustainability. And, it's inevitable that no matter where we go and no matter what we buy, like we're always relying on plastics just because it's everywhere we go. And so, realistically, then like what are some of the things that we can do that's within our control? And that's like the question that we have to start asking ourselves. If we can move to the next slide.
All right, I'm gonna pause here.
Okay. I think you can move it to 12:55.
12:55.
Perfect. All right. So, as Elizabeth then has said, as human beings, we have this inclination of wanting to help others, and this includes helping our environment as well. We are very giving, and we want to show that we care and contribute to this cause. And donating is not the only way that we can show that. Rather than just donating money, you can move to the next slide and then just click one more time. Volunteering is also a great way to show that you care. And there's a lot of reward and satisfaction that comes out of helping others. And it's the direct cause and the direct impact that you're seeing from being involved. And this same idea can be applied when we're thinking about things that we can do around the house at home to show, to contribute to saving our environment, protecting our environment. And I think in the long run, if we learn about ways that we can conserve at home, that this will help save money as well. So we're going to do a second poll. If you can move to the next slide.
Sorry, I thought you were
No problem, no problem. Yeah, I can just open the poll actually.
Okay.
So before we continue on, I just want to ask everybody some things they think you can do around the house to be more eco-conscious. I'm going to screen share really quick. Is that okay?
It's still loading. There we go.
Okay. All right, so I think it's the same link. So you can respond through your phone or computer. I'm gonna show responses. Yes.
We also have a few answers in the chat, Samantha, so you might want to also look at that.
Oh, awesome. Don't know if I can check the chat. Yes, reuse bags and eat less meat. Yes. Cooking at home saves you resources and saves you money, definitely. Yes, using natural cleaners is also less detrimental to our environment. Hydro flasks. I actually have mine right here. Using reusable items. All right. These are all amazing answers. Thank you for answering the poll. So, excuse me, sorry. So when I think about, I remember the first time when I was in middle school, I was moving around places a lot, and we were packing and unpacking, throwing away a lot of things. And one thing that I noticed was the mass piles of paper that we had that were just like expected to be thrown out the trash. I was thinking to myself, like, wait, we've had this many papers, what am I going to do with this? I don't want to throw it away. What can I do? So ever since I started, keeping all these papers and using it as scratch paper whenever I'm doing work, all like small things like that, thinking about small things like that around the house I feel like has made me feel happier about the things that I do. So if we can go back to the slides.
Would you want me to go forward?
Yes, please. So we when we think about changing our mindset towards being more eco-conscious, it means that we have to reconsider our consumer habits in order to minimize the harm done to our environment. So, some of the things you can start to think about around the house is things such as, like, when you're leaving the water on while you're washing dishes, or brushing your teeth. When you go grocery shopping, are you buying things that you just, made a list of, or are you also like buying a bunch of other non-necessities? And that can lead to wasteful spending when you have like expired food in the fridge that gets thrown out a lot. Also, what I mentioned, the scratch paper thing, you have a lot of, when you have paper, you can save it to use. As a college student, that's just, it becomes habitual. So on a daily, these are like the type of things that I have to ask myself when I'm, doing things in the house. And also, like what everybody was saying in the poll, conserving energy by turning off the light, using other things, loads of laundry. Those are all great answers. And so also thinking about consumer habits, we have to ask ourselves when we're buying things outside, especially, if we're going shopping for clothes, these are like the type of things that I ask myself. One, do I need it? And am I going to use it? And is it worth it? If you think that you're only going to wear it once, then you have to reconsider whether, say no to fast fashion. Exactly. You have to think about where you're buying items, where it comes from, and whether it's worth spending. And yes, recently during quarantine, I started thinking a lot about fast fashion. Why, like, these clothes are so inexpensive. You see that a lot of exploitation from workers come from these clothes factories. All these people who are being exploited and to the benefit of providing clothes at inexpensive prices to people like us. So, it all goes back to these bigger issues. And so we have to think about that as well. Next slide, please. All right. So when thinking about alternatives, especially, when thinking about sustainability, the first thing that comes up is reuse, reduce, recycle. And when it comes to reusing items, we can have alternatives such as water bottles and reusable straws. Having a hydro flask can save a lot of the plastic bottles that you buy from the mass jugs that you buy at Costco and such. You save a lot of the plastics just by having a water bottle at hand. Also, paper grocery bags. I think somebody said in chat, using reusable bags, I think is very beneficial when you go grocery shopping. Then you don't have to spend money on the plastic bags, and you also use less plastics. The soap bars, actually, this is something that I learned recently, because a lot of bathroom necessities are put in plastic jugs. You can actually buy soap bars instead of the plastic body washes as alternatives to reducing plastic use. So just all these small things, and sustainability doesn't have to be expensive. You can consider it as more of an investment instead. So those are just a list of small alternatives to be more sustainable in your life. All right, so we can move to the next slide. So just going into how we can properly recycle plastics, because recycling can be very complicated.